I'm looking for a long signal. I'm looking for a test to the high. But I'm waiting until 9:30. How could you wait? It's explosive. I mean, those are pretty strong signals. It's going to hit my first target. I'll shrink my stop. Okay, so I already hit. Turning off, turning on. I can trade it again. I need to turn my stream on, so forgive me. Okay, the stream is on. I'm waiting for a long signal for a test of that high. If I was up 320 on two positive trades, I'd be done. Okay, so be clear on that. I would not be trading again. I want to welcome everybody on YouTube. Thank you for joining us. We're trading the NQ Open. We're testing some new setups. So look, there's still a very strong possibility because the range between the high and the low is tight this morning. So I'm not dying to jump into another trade because my trades worked. But right now, it's sure looking short. It's sure looking short, but it may be choppy. It may be choppy. Tough, very difficult directional this morning. I think it's difficult directionally. I would not give back my money. I made 30 bucks on the oil open and two small trades on the NQ open. I would not give it back. I'd be done. I would be done. I would not be trying to guess the direction this morning because it's difficult. You got a test of the high that wasn't made, and you have a test of the low that hasn't been made yet. So I'm going to sit for a few minutes and watch and see if there's so strong a signal that I can't resist. But it's going to have to be so strong. It's going to have to be so strong to make me want to give back possible profits that I might have made. Now, I hope you understand. So here's the rule that we're understanding about the NQ. You can take a trade after 925 if you're trading the open. This sure looks like, but look at the size of the stop you'd have to have. Do you want to give up your money? I'm not sure it's going to go test that high. It looks like it. Looks like it. There's no signals though. Now there's a signal. I want them both together, right? See, 50 tick stop. You understand why I wouldn't do this with real money? I would have kept my profit. There's no question I would have kept my profit. That's why. All right. That's why. Let's go to existing homes. Very difficult morning on direction, but that is absolutely why I would keep my profit. I wouldn't have given it back. It looks like it's going to be easy, but it isn't. It isn't. All right. We're going to do this again Monday. We're going to do this again Monday. I only do the open for 5 minutes. That's it. 5 minutes. Now, are you still going to get the test of the low? I still think that test of the low is a possibility. I think it's as good a possibility as the test of the high was. So let's watch it for a second. Let's watch it. Let's watch it for 5 minutes. Gold made a low. And look at the range on gold. It's also very tight. That makes decisions much harder to make decisions. So NQ, for me, the NQ open is over. I don't like trading after the first couple of minutes. Now, if we were so far away from the high that you couldn't see it, and the low was the magnet, then there would be a magnet trade. But really, there is no magnet this morning because you have a high above and a high low, either and a low below, and either one of those levels are attainable. Either one are attainable. All right. So let's look at existing homes. Let's look at some videos. Let's do our normal setup for existing homes. Give me 1 second. So I'm putting GC on this side. That's what we normally trade on existing homes. I think today the market couldn't care less about existing homes. I think there's just way too many other things going on that it makes this report highly risky because it's probably not going to respond properly. That's my gut feeling. So let me show you the DMM for existing homes. Hang on. Let me get the right one here. So existing homes, it's been about a 50-50 report, small moves, okay? It's had one good move in the last 6 months, 27 ticks in November, okay? 27 ticks in November. If you look at February with an 8-tick bracket, that was a possible opportunity for 7 ticks of profit with no slippage, assuming zero slippage. So assume 2 ticks of slippage. So you had 5-tick possible profit. Not sure I'm that interested today. I said that I wanted to trade the big reports. That's what my goal was. While this war is going on, I want to concentrate on the big reports, the reports that have a possibility of moving. And that even means oil, gas. They're risky reports to trade, but they've been moving in a tradable fashion. Okay. So here's the setup for today's existing homes. I might definitely concerned, believe it or not, with an 8-tick bracket. I've been using a 10-tick bracket on University of Michigan. Okay. University of Michigan's a better moving report than this because it has inflation data specifically in the report. Now, targets of 3 and 7. It's an obvious reason why it's very difficult to trade this. But I'm going to test this DMM exactly. 3 and 7 with a stop of 11. Entry time of 9:59:59. And why do I not have very much interest in trading this live? Because what we've been seeing over the past more than a week, small reports are not having much of an impact. This is a small report. This is a report the market's not that interested in. Okay. And I don't think there's a great opportunity for profit on this report today. Turning on my recorder. Let me show you some existing homes, videos. Now, one thing that I do believe is that I think a lot of these smaller reports could lend themselves very well to a trap trade. So here's a trap trade on micro gold, which trap trades are low slippage. So I would use a tier of 8 ticks, very small, and a tier of 16 ticks. It's a 10 o'clock time of trade. I'd put my orders on 5 seconds before the news, and I'd use a stop of 18 ticks. So I'm using tiers of 8 and 16. It's a time of event. It's a 10 o'clock news event. Activation or preparation seconds, 5 seconds. I think some of these small reports may be much more amenable to a small trap setup. I mean small, 8 and 14 on my tiers, 8 and 14. So that's my second test. And I'm going to save this template, news trap, small report, GC, today's date. Templates, what I want to do soon is post templates in the room. Every template that I save can eventually be posted, or at least a link. So I want to start making templates available. So there I have a trap trade on micro gold. And we'll see if it works. Let's look at some existing homes. So you need a little bit of movement. And that's the one thing existing homes has not been doing very much. Hasn't been moving all that much, right? So let me find if we have any. We should have our most recent. So I've got November, February, and January. Okay. So here we got November, okay? Now, if you go back further on an older DMM, existing homes has been a 50-50 pretty much going back almost a year now, okay? 3 and 3, and again, 8-tick bracket. July was decent, 21-tick move, okay? So if you go into November, Now, the markets were nothing in November compared to what they are today. The world was a different place. The news offset wasn't terrible. It was decent, and there was very little response to the news. Very little. Gold was extremely volatile that day in November. Look at the move. Huge move down and a huge move up before the report. And what you had there was just probably a trend trade, a trade that didn't even appear to be responding to news, but appeared to just be trending down because gold started to sell off after making a big run up before the news. I mean, it almost looked like there was a news burst, but it was way later after the news was released. So November, it worked, but you could see not a very big move. Now we're looking January. Testing the trap also in January. But I'm making the trap even smaller today. So existing home sales come out. You have a good offset, negative, should push gold up, should push it up. Really, you're not seeing very much of a response in gold to this report. So again, a 30-second fill. Okay, so existing homes fills late. And then in January, it filled late or later, never even hits the first target and stops out. Okay, reverses. Gold had a magnet trade going on there, right? That was working against the report. That also tells you existing homes is not a very influential report because a gold magnet trade overpowered it. That would never happen with the jobs report or ADP, CPI, PPI, any decent sized report. Let's check our time sync and I'll show you February's existing homes. Go to the website time.is. Let me look at my brackets. I just want to look at my bracket size for the report. Entry time is 9:59. So thanks everybody on YouTube for watching. Why not give us a like, sign up for the channel, hit the notification bell so you know the next time we'll be streaming. Perfect bracket. So the charts are perfect there. Put my time back, 9:59:59. Although on this report, it seems to trigger very late all the time. Here's February's video. 50-50, this report. Now, 50-50 doesn't always mean you don't want to trade a report. If the BOE is a 50-50, it still could be worth trading because a winner could be monstrous. Sometimes a bank statement could move 100 ticks. Existing home is never going to move 100 ticks. And I don't even hesitate to use the word never, which normally I would never say. I would never say never when talking trading. No always, no never. But existing homes is not going to move the market 100 ticks ever, ever. It's never going to happen. So it seems that existing homes fills after 30 seconds. Okay. It needs 30 seconds. So if you're interested in trading it live, you probably shouldn't cancel for 30 seconds, at least, because almost every report that we looked at triggers later than normal. Okay. Now, very often the DMM will have a clue about cancellation time. We know from being in the trade room day after day after day, most reports are triggering more slowly. Look at what happened with API this week, 4 minutes after the news. I was closing the room when API had to move. I've never seen that before. I never saw that before. But I should have known that the news hadn't come out because it hadn't been announced by Financial Juice. They never got the news. I knew we were filled early because we were filled instantly on Tuesday for the API. I don't like being filled early. I suppose I could have exited and then waited for the news to come out 4 more minutes. So February's existing homes would not have worked. Okay. Even though it filled after 30 seconds, it was 40. How many seconds it filled? No, it wasn't that slow of a fill. Oh, wait. Okay. The fill 30, roughly 30 seconds, 30-second fill. So I was saying the DMM gives you a heads up usually about cancel times. But what I was saying is I would not cancel. If you're trading a report, most of them I probably would recommend don't cancel. Just let the news come out. Let the news come out. Now, see, this has a 30-second cancel. I think it should probably be 45. Okay. I think it really should probably be 45. Now, the news comes out with existing homes if you, at a minimum, use the website investing.com to help you with your trading, right? Because that website does show the news coming out, correct? If you use Financial Juice Pro and you pay for the Pro version, you get their Squawk Box, okay? And that's faster and more accurate than any of the websites that we look at. Investing.com is free because sometimes they don't even post the news on the website. Financial Juice is tremendously reliable with their news. Tremendously reliable. It costs about $48 a month for the pro version, and it's worth it if you're going to trade the way that we trade. If you are seriously trading events and seriously trading news, it's a business that you have to invest in, right? Just like as if you had a store. If you had a store, you'd be buying inventory. Think of Financial Juice Pro as your inventory for your trading business. That's all it is, right? It's inventory. It's no different than if you owned a store. So that's how you have to think of spending money. You got to spend money on your business to make your business more successful. All right. Everybody okay out there? So we'll go over the NQ Open again on Monday. If anybody has any questions after existing homes, I'm happy to stay and answer any questions about the setup, etc. So please feel free to ask questions if you have any. New homes is in existing homes is in 5 minutes. So the other thing that's great that I like a lot about Financial Juice is you get a choice of all the types of news feeds that you want to choose. And then this section in the middle here is news, information. And they have videos of Fed heads talking, press conferences in Europe, Canadian retail sales, the full report. I mean, they do a tremendous job of being a partner for a news trader. Okay. Very, very good partner to a news trader. So we're just watching gold, new low, made the new low at 9:30 as the market opened. You got a high above. The high's pretty far. I don't think new homes is going to push gold to the high, but you could see why an 8 tick bracket could be a little bit tough. You want, hopefully, the market will slow, but it's another reason that I'm interested in more trap trades in these current markets. And I was just sitting here thinking there's a report next week we don't usually trade that I didn't put on the schedule that I think I'm going to change my mind and put it on the schedule. New homes. New homes moves as good as this report, if not better. And I think it might lend itself well to a trap trade. So I'll do some testing over the weekend. So the question is gold going to respond this morning to new homes? February. Here's February. News is out. Sits. 30 seconds. It fills. Hits the first target of 3 ticks. 3 ticks. And then it changes direction. Okay. Now, maybe you'll get a gold's trending up since only 20 minutes, not even 15 minutes. Directions are a little tricky today. Directions are a little tricky today. On the day, gold is a little bit down on the day. So you got 1 minute to new homes. Existing homes, sorry. All right, we got 25 seconds. 25 seconds. Not that big a bracket. 8 ticks. 8 ticks. Existing home news usually comes right out on time. And usually it doesn't do much to the index at first. Here's the trap trade. So the breakout pops up on negative news. The trap looks like it's not going to fill. We're not sure. Is it going to fill the outer tier? Is it going to fill the outer tier? I can't tell. I would cancel the outer tier if I don't think it's going to get there. It might get there. So you don't have to rush and cancel the trap trade. So the news was negative, a little bit negative, a lot negative actually. Hits the first target, protect the profit, and then it would have pulled back possibly. You didn't have to move. So now your trap has filled both. So let's see if new homes pushes up. So I possibly would have tried to protect that profit because of choppy markets. So the entry was 1935.10. 1935.10. Right there. That was my entry. It hit the first target of 1935.40. Okay. The stop would be 1934 even. 1934 even. Trap is a big winner on real gold. It would be 100, a couple of $100. You could take your first target, move your stop to break even, and even trail it. See what I'm saying about the trap? It's the way to go. Would have been stopped out target 1 on the breakout, 3 ticks, big winner on the trap. Big winner on the trap. Here's the trap trade setup that I used for a small, insignificant report that could have made us some big bucks. I think my theory is good. I'm going to test it on new homes next week. Here's my setup. A tier of 8, a tier of 14, order prep 5 seconds. Put your order on the chart 5 seconds after the time of the trade, time of the event, 10 o'clock. Stop of 18. It was a gorgeous trap trade. Absolutely gorgeous. So this was not wasted time. This is very enlightening over my trap trade theory, which I'm going to put into practice this week. I'm going to put some small reports on that I wasn't even interested in trading and see if we can get some extra trap trade profits. If that's what the market wants to give, let's see if we can try and take some of it. Who's got a question? Now I'll happily answer. I want to thank everybody. So YouTube, this is what we do in our trade room. We try to come up with ideas, especially when the markets are difficult. We'd love to have you join us in the trade room. Here's how you can join us. It's real easy. www.jointhetraderoom.com. www.jointhetraderoom.com. If you're not a trade room member, that's how you become one. We'd love to have you join us. Regular members, I'll see everybody Monday morning for the oil open and the NQ open. And I'm going to add new homes to the schedule right now. Any questions? Anybody? Any questions about the setups we used this morning? Okay. Um, I'll see everybody Monday. Have a good weekend, everybody, and have a great weekend.